It's not easy to be a great PM, but the steps to follow are easy. It's a hard job. It can be overwhelming, but you have to focus on certain things because not everything you learn in school requires the same amount of focus and effort. This video goes through the 10 proven practices that drive success for project managers. If you don't do these things, what will happen is the worst case, you'll get fired. Second worst case, you'll get demoted. Third worst case, your project will fail. And fourth worst case is you'll burn out and quit. And you won't know why. But if you get them right, everything will fall into place. Your team will love you, your client will love you, and your manager will give you a raise. Whether you're new to project management or transitioning from another role or manage project managers, these practices should become part of your toolkit. I'm Nigel Thomas. I've helped hundreds of project managers and managed hundreds of projects for over 20 years. These 10 practices are not all of the practices that a project manager may use, but my team and I have distilled them down to the 10 things that, from our experience of working on and leading hundreds of projects and dozens of project managers, are the most important to be successful with your projects. It's also what most great PMs always do. In this video, I want to share with you those 10 things. Not everything is equally important. If you have the wrong belief, you will not survive. So let's kick things off with the most crucial skill in your toolkit. Practice 1 is communication. Think of it as the superpower that makes or breaks projects. In our signature program, How to Be a Great PM, we spend a lot of time on this skill and how important it is and how to be successful with it. If you think about it, the job of a project manager is about managing information. It's about making sure that information is captured, qualified, and turned into knowledge. Then ensuring that knowledge is used to meet the project goals. Think about that for a moment. A project manager's primary role is to be an information manager. Think of the ways that a project manager has to communicate and where good practices or poor practices can have a big impact. There's email, there's phone, Slack, chat, one-on-one meetings, team meetings, steering committee meetings, requirement meetings, scrums, stand-ups, and the various artifacts that you need to either create, review, QA, and get approval for. There's so many, and there are so many tools and techniques, but the things you must master are 1, being able to simplify the message, 2, verbal communication, and 3, written communication. You must be able to communicate clearly and simply. You must always strive to simplify the message. This ability to simplify will directly impact how successful you are with both verbal and written communication and your project. There is a temptation by many people, including good project managers, to keep the complexity of the message. But trust me, you don't want to do that. You want to make sure everybody is on the same page and understands clearly and simply what it is you are talking about, what the project is aiming for, and so on. Practice 2 is staying organized. Great project managers are super organized, and it starts right from day one of joining the company or project. They have a mental checklist of all the things they need to set up or get set up to succeed for themselves and to succeed with their project. We have included a bunch of checklists and guides to help you remember these things in our course. They may become second nature to you eventually, but even so, some of the great PMs I know create their own checklists to onboard themselves onto a new project, just to be thorough and not to forget something. Being organized as a project manager is like having a secret weapon. It's what separates the pros from the "where did I put that file" person. Think about it. Have you ever worked with someone who seemed to pull information out of thin air? Who always knew where everything was, who never missed a deadline? That's what we're aiming for here. Remember, the goal isn't perfection. It's having systems that work for you and your team. You need to hone your project organization skills from "where's that file again" to "I've got everything under control." You need to create a system made up of processes, practices, and technology. It should include a digital command center, an organization system that makes sense, time blocking for yourself and for your team for productivity, a task management system, and a meeting organization structure. Next is something that sounds simple but is actually an art form. Practice 3 is setting goals. That is, setting goals that actually work. Have you ever been part of a project where nobody seemed to know what success looked like, where the targets kept moving, or where goals were so vague that nobody could tell if you'd achieved them? Yeah, I have, and it's no fun. If you haven't yet, it happens when goals are not established or not established clearly enough. Great project managers know that clear, specific goals are like a GPS for your project. They tell you where you're going, they help you track your progress, and let you know when you've arrived. Without them, you're just wandering around hoping to end up somewhere good. There's the SMART framework for goals and creating a project charter. Those are foundational. They keep everyone aligned to your project success. Remember, the reason most projects fail is due to poor requirements. These are derived from the goals. So if the goals are not well defined, then your project is set up for failure. We go into a lot of checklists and exercises on this in the course. What separates a good project manager from the great ones is practice for being proactive. Think about it. Anyone can put out fires when they start, but the rail pros, they prevent the fires in the first place. Being proactive means you're playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. You're thinking several moves ahead. I love how one project manager put it. Reactive project managers say, that's a problem. Proactive project managers say, that could become a problem. Let's prevent it now. That's the mindset you need to build. We show you how in the program. The good news is that being proactive isn't about having a crystal ball or working 24/7. It's about developing a sixth sense for potential issues and having systems in place to catch problems while they're still tiny. If you're getting value from this and you want more, click the link below for a free coaching call. Practice 5 is building relationships. Here's a secret that experienced project managers know. Projects don't fail because of processes or tools. They fail because of people issues. The flip side is also true. When you have strong relationships with your team and stakeholders, you can overcome almost any challenge. Think about it. Have you ever seen a project succeed when the team didn't trust each other or when stakeholders were constantly fighting? If you've not seen it yet, you likely never will, and neither have I. That's why the best project managers invest as much time in people as they do in plans. The good news is that relationship building isn't about being the most outgoing person or bringing cupcakes to every meeting, though they never hurt. It's about creating trust, understanding what motivates different people, and building genuine connections. Practice 6 is monitoring progress. Tracking progress isn't about micromanagement. It's about maintaining momentum and catching issues early. Think of it like checking your GPS while driving. You need to know if you're on track or, if you need to adjust your route. The best project managers have mastered the art of progress monitoring without driving their teams crazy. They know exactly what to measure, how often to check in, and how to communicate status in a way that's helpful rather than stressful. We share some practical tools that give you the right level of visibility without creating unnecessary work for your team. Next is something that many project managers find intimidating, but doesn't have to be. It's risk management. Let's be honest. No project ever goes exactly according to plan. The difference between project heroes and project not heroes is how they handle the unexpected. Great project managers don't just hope for the best, they prepare for the bumps in the road. The good news is that effective risk management doesn't have to be complicated or time-consuming. It's about developing a simple, consistent approach to identifying what might go wrong and having a plan ready when, not if, something does go wrong. Practice 8 is something you'll do every single day as a project manager, solving problems. Let's face it, projects are basically a series of problems to solve. Some are small, some are huge, but they all need solutions. The good news, problem solving is a skill you can master with the right approach. The best project managers don't panic when problems arise. Instead, they have a systematic way to understand the real issue, find the root cause, and develop an effective solution. They also know how to involve the right people at the right time. Practice 9 is something that too many project managers forget: celebrating success. Think about it. We spend so much time focusing on problems, risks, and what might go wrong that we often forget to acknowledge what's going right. But recognizing achievements isn't just about being nice. It's a powerful tool for building momentum, boosting morale, and creating a positive project culture. The best project managers know that celebration isn't something you do just at the end of a project. They build recognition into their regular routine, catching people doing things right and acknowledging progress along the way. You want to be the project manager everyone wants to work with, the one who knows how to make hard work feel worthwhile. We've reached our final practice, but it's definitely not the least important. Document everything. Now, I know documentation doesn't sound exciting, but trust me, future you will be very excited when you need to find that critical decision, explain why something was done a certain way, or start a similar project and have templates and information ready to go. The best project managers know that good documentation isn't about creating paperwork. It's about capturing knowledge that creates value. They've developed efficient systems to document just what's needed without getting bogged down in unnecessary detail. You need to learn how to document smarter, not harder, and set yourself up for future success. And remember, we go into a lot more detail and focus on these 10 practices in our program, How to Be a Great PM. You get checklists, videos, membership to our community, and a weekly group coaching session along with weekly office hours for ongoing support. If you like this video, you're going to love this one over here. Click here and I'll see you over there.